So welcome once again, everyone. My name is Dr. Harry Benjamin. I'm streaming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. And next week, Saturday as well, I'll be streaming from Lagos. For the weeks after that, I'll be streaming from the US for a number of months. And then eventually I'll be streaming from places like Canada, the Central Americas, the Caribbean, South America, Europe, Asia, and then eventually we're going to do a big African tour to pull this all together. We have a really great plan afoot where we have launched off a really great community that you all are aware of. And we're going to another phase right now. We're going to a phase where we're going to be building throughout 2022 with some new services, some new products that have been rolled into our platform. And we're going to also have a brand new back office. Brand new back office is going to be very beautiful. I've seen pieces of it and truly it's amazing. I'm really grateful for what has been happening. I've been having discussions with the corporate team, particularly our chairlady and co-founder. And so I've been given clear insights into what's happening. We're rolling with about 14 different traders. Right now we have about 4 or 6, I think. We're increasing that number to 14, and that will be on staff. And so right now we're in the process of finalizing all those contracts and being clear on what the terms are and what people need to do, ensuring that we really build a very cohesive and strong community. So a lot of great things are rolling out. Some of you are aware as well that we have the updated or enhanced compensation plan, where we're going to be able to earn some really great bonuses. Look out for that information where you'll see that you'll earn upfront bonuses anywhere from $25 to as much as $200 upfront. And that addition to our program is going to be really exciting for our community, which means that this year we're going to pay out much more money to the field than we did last year. And that should excite you to know that you are here and involved and engaged at this point. One thing I want to remind you of is to ensure that your members stay active, because the active members roll into the new platform first before anyone else and take up the top positions. And then people will come in thereafter. What I also realize is that when you show your new members that are signing up today, tomorrow, next week, and you show them the platform, what will generally happen is that they will see the new platform with much more excitement. They'll see the new platform with a lot more zeal, because they would have seen what the old platform is like, which is really excellent, but they'll see that it's multiple times excellent. So in today's Road to Legend training, because apart from the updates about what's going on the corporate side, what's going on within the company, we also are doing this training that we're doing, Road to Legend. My commitment is to do this training we're going to do this training every Saturday. So throughout this year, this training will happen every single Saturday. You can count on it. I'll be on. I've set it at this time of the day to make sure that Africa, Nigeria and Kenya, so the West African countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and the East African countries like Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, and of course South Africa, and then I know Botswana and Zambia and Zimbabwe, Cameroon, those are other countries, Sierra Leone. We know those are countries that are going to play a part. And of course, we're going to be embracing more people in Europe, Spain, France, Italy, Turkey, Russia, which we have been doing, and we're going to increase those numbers. So we deliberately set the time for 3 p.m. and then 9 a.m. in America, where you are in Scola, and those who are living in America, I'll be able to be on every Saturday, because 9 a.m. is a convenient time before we get into doing trainings and presentations with our US folks. I know one US team leader already asked me to book the 5th of March in Maryland. So leaders have already started asking me to book times with them to come to their city, offering to pay my plane fare and my hotel to come to their city to help them to grow and develop their teams. And that is really exciting, ladies and gentlemen. That is really exciting. And what I encourage you to do is to ensure that you are reaching out to people you know in the US, who do you know in Canada, so that you could introduce those persons to me on the phone so that I can actually work with those people, help you to build your team in those areas, and actually start to grow the network. You know, Mr. Ade and I and Scholar, you heard me speaking about this some time before, and guess what's happening? Now it's coming to pass. So no, we're no longer talking about what we're going to do. We're literally right now talking in the moment of doing what we have been speaking about. Because remember that we speak it first, and you take the actions required, and then you'll walk into it. So ladies and gentlemen, it's really important that you have a clear picture of where you're going and what it is that you're doing. Now, today we're going to cover 4 principles of becoming a legend. 4 principles. Look at this way, looks cuter. 4 principles of becoming a legend, and then we'll do a Q&A. So I'm going to use a whiteboard and draw it on the whiteboard where you could see it, and hopefully it will work really well for you. So I'm going over here to the whiteboard, turn my camera around so that you could see. Does it allow me to turn the camera around? All right, yes, it does. All right, so you're seeing my whiteboard very clearly. And I want to cover, ladies and gentlemen, 4 principles. All right, so 4, the number 4, all right? So hopefully we could see that really clearly. So 4 principles. So make sure that you're taking notes, all right? So 4 principles of becoming a legend, not a diamond. 4 principles of becoming a legend. And I want us to really take notes of these 4 principles. We're going to talk about them. Now, the first one, right? The first one that you need to be able to actually become a legend in our company. First one to become a legend in our company, ladies and gentlemen, is to know what you want. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay? So that's the first thing. What do you want? Most people are not very clear. What is it that you're going to, what do you want to have at the end of 2022? So please go ahead and unmute yourself, somebody, and tell me what it is that you want in 2022. All right, go ahead, I'm listening. What do you want in 2022? I'm listening. Anyone? Jump in, no particular order, right?
This is me, Hugo. I want financial freedom this 2022.
All right, that's great.
That's and great to have my time, to enjoy my time and have financial freedom.
All right, so you want time and financial freedom. All right. And most of us right now, our time and our money are related. So right now, because we work for money, most of us, our time is used to work for money, and that's why we're not free. But apart from that, though, I'd like to hear something a little bit more tangible. Someone else, go ahead. What do you want? All right, what do you want for 2022?
Hi, everybody. This is Scholar. I want financial freedom and time freedom, and above all, I want to retire early.
Retire early. All right, so let's put it over here. Retire. All right, retire early. Someone else, please jump in. Go ahead. Anyone else? What do you want? I want something a little more tangible. You know, a house, a car.
Yeah. I want to buy a property and build on it and help. I want to start thinking of helping the needy.
All right. Okay, great. How much is to build that property and buy it? How much money is it going to cost?
It's going to cost like $30,000 to $50,000.
All right, so let's say 50,000 US dollars. Okay, yes. To buy the property and build on it, it's going to cost you that. All right. All right, and we know take care of the needy, you have to have more money coming in than what you need for your personal needs. Someone else jump in. Kevin, who else wants to jump in and give me, what do you want in 2022? I'm talking about 2022.
$200,000.
$200,000. Now, I like that. No, it's specific. He didn't flinch about it. $200,000.
Yes, sir.
So it's very clear. Now we have a clear goal. Because here's the thing about most of us. What happens is this. A lot of us, ladies and gentlemen, we have not because we ask not. Another way to say it is that we have not because we goal not. A lot of people do not have clear goals on what it is that they want to achieve. The thing about it is that angels, heaven, God, the universe multiplies our efforts. It multiplies what we're doing. But a lot of people are doing nothing, and the universe, our angels, our creator, if you multiply nothing, you get nothing. Because nothing times infinity becomes nothing. So what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, right, is that we have to actually be the ones, ladies and gentlemen, to make something happen. So we have to be very clear, very intentional that we know what we want. All right. So let's go back again to now number 2. So we did number 1, right? We now have a clear goal of $200,000. We have a goal of $50,000. And time freedom, financial freedom, early retirement, that needs to have a figure. That needs to be clear in terms of how much will it need to buy back your time. You need to know, Mr. Ugo, how much money is going to buy back your time. You need to know how much money is going to give you financial freedom. Scholar, you need to know how much money is going to allow you to retire early. So they can't be intangible because the universe cannot give us what we're not clear on. We need to be very clear. And, I don't have them where I am with me right now, but I have what are called affirmation cards. And this doesn't allow me to show, I could share my screen quickly and show that to you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I have it here. I showed it to the group today, and I'll show it to you. Because a lot of us have not because we goal not, right? We do not have clearly defined goals. Make sure I'm looking at the right place. We do not have clearly defined goals, ladies and gentlemen, but I have a bunch of what are called affirmation cards. I have a goal book, but I also have my affirmation. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place, so it was taking me so long to find it. Our bunch of affirmation cards, and here's one, right? So if you read it, it's what read it out for me, someone. Just read it out what it says at the top. You read the second one if you like, right? But read both. Let's read both. Read the first one for me. Irene, would you like to read?
I'm so happy and grateful.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I am in the USA building extreme effects in 2022. January.
Thank you. Next one.
Okay, yeah. The next one. I am so happy and grateful now that I have 10 platinum leaders in the extreme effects business by March 31st, 2022.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have clear, you have to have clearly defined goals that you're working on, because the universe, God, cannot give you what you're not clear about, right? You can't just be hoping that by the end of 2022, you're going to have this or you're going to have that. You have to be very clear. Your affirmation cards need to be written out. You need to have them in your pocket. You need to have them in different areas of your lives. You could go back to one of the previous trainings that covers goal setting, which we spoke about in December. We spoke about it on the first call for this year, and we're now going to a different level. All right. So step number, what's the next now? Next principle. So we're clear on what we want. We have them written down on cards. We have the cards that you're looking at every day, the affirmation card that I just shared, and you're clear on what it is that you want in 2022, and you're looking at them every day and repeating them to yourself. And I hope you took a screenshot of the affirmation card, because that's how you should write them. Make sure you write them down in present tense. God is not in the future. God is not in the past. God is always in the now. So you have to write your affirmations right now, here and now. I am so happy and grateful now, this moment, not next week, not next month, now that I have, because you always have things in the present, you never have them in the future, and you never have them in the past. So it's very important to be clear on that. All right, let's look at principle number 2, because we're clear on what we want. We now know I have some figures we're working on. Next one is give up to go up. Give up to go up. You know, a lot of us want, but we do not want to sow. You know, there's a law in life that, and I'll ask you this, and you could, you know, throw your answer in there. You know, can you get a fruit from a tree, any tree? Just go out into nature. Can you get a fruit off of a tree without the seed being sown first? Answer that, please, somebody. Can we get the fruit from a tree without the seed being sown first? I'm waiting for somebody to answer me.
No, sir.
No, you cannot.
No,
It's impossible. It's impossible. So what we have to realize is that we have to sow. We have to sow. Now, you have to make sure you and your members maintain an active subscription. Now, the subscription is a very small seed, because we're really getting way more value for the monthly subscription than the subscription itself. So that in itself is not much that we're giving up each month to ensure that we have a platform, we have a business that we can build. But you're also going to have to, in some people's case, like I know in Mr. Obiora, he invests his money in paying for halls. So he invests money in paying for meeting halls, not just in Bielsa where he is. He's done it in Port Harcourt. He's done it in Aba. He's done it in Uyo State. I know he's traveled to different places, and he pays his own money to travel. Now, Mr. Obiora last year earned over 20,000 US dollars just in commissions for building Extreme. Now, if he didn't make those sacrifices or sow those seeds, he would not have that type of income coming from that. So we have to realize that we have to be willing to give up to go up. We also have to give up some time. You know, Mr. Obiora is a good example, and many others that I could call, you know, Abigail and Scola and different people in the team. What they have done is that they gave up some of their time. They're on the Zooms. They're inviting people for presentations. You know, in Mr. Obiora's case, he took time away from his family to travel to different cities to build his organization. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is not that you're going to just get to the $200,000 because you said it. It's not just because you have it written on an affirmation card. Because the purpose of writing it down on the affirmation card and repeating it to yourself is so that you will actually do the actions necessary. And you will have the conviction needed to actually pay your subscription every month. You'll have the conviction needed to invest the time needed, because it's not going to just happen because you said it. Faith without works is what? Somebody finish that statement for me. Faith without works is
Dead.
dead. So if you now have you believe all day long you're going to earn $200,000 this year, you believe all day long you're going to be financially free, you believe all day long you're going to have time freedom and early retirement, and you believe it, you believe it, and you do not take any actions, nothing happens. So we have to realize that we have to give up to go up. We're going to have to put the time, the energy, going to have the focus, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to actually go up. Give up some money, small money to pay a subscription. Give up some time, whether it is some family time that you may have to, in sometimes give up, because the things that you give up and sow, you reap. Here's the thing about sowing and reaping, and we could write this down. We always reap what we sow, not where we sow. We have to remember that we are part of the world of sowing, and there's seed time and harvest time will always be around. We're promised that seed time and harvest time will never end until the sun stops rising and the moon stops coming up. All right, will never end until once there's night and day, once there's hot and cold, there'll always be seed and harvest time. So ladies and gentlemen, we have to remember this principle and not break it. Then invest the time. Find the time on your calendar. We spoke about that last week, I believe it was, when we did our calendar training and we looked at the calendar and what is that we need to do. But we now need to basically give up to go up. And each of us need to look at areas in our lives where we can give up some time. Sometimes you have to cut back. Some of us who sometimes invest a lot of time in playing golf or, going out having fun. Like I was speaking to a gentleman earlier, he's busy watching football. Now, here's the thing about him watching football. He mentioned to me about wanting to be in the business, but he said he cannot talk about it right now because he's busy watching football. Now, question, by him watching football, who earns the money from the football game? Please answer me, somebody. Is it all of the people, the millions of people sitting down watching the people playing, or is it the 24 people and the people on the bench at the football game who collect all the money from the game? Who it is that earns money from the game?
The players and the coach.
The players and the coach. And ladies and gentlemen, he's saying that, he's busy right now. He doesn't have the time to evaluate a business that he needs to do for his own income. He messaged me. He saw something I posted online. He messaged me, but I couldn't call him at that time. So I called him when I was available. And he's now saying, man, he has the game going on, so he's busy right now. So he's entertaining himself with his what? What is he using to entertain himself? Somebody tell me.
Time.
Money.
Time.
Money.
It's time and money.
And it's money. Who's paying for the DSTV? Is it the footballers or him?
He does.
He's the one paying.
He's the one paying. So it's a time, guys. Time can be invested, INV, or it can be spent. Now, when you spend your time, do you get a return on that time? I'm asking the question. When we spend our time, do we get a return on that time we spend? Or is it when you invest your time that you get a return on the time invested? Which one?
When you invest.
When you invest your time. So by him sitting down watching football, is he spending time or investing time?
Spending time.
Spending time.
Spending time. So he will not get any return on the time he used for the football. But if he used the time to make some phone calls and invite some people to come and look at the presentation, if you use the time instead to do a presentation and I'll tell somebody about the community and those people are getting involved, is that an investment of time or spending of time?
Investment.
Investment of time. So ladies and gentlemen, please understand that we can either invest time or spend time. And we have to choose now to look at our calendar of activities and eliminate those areas where we're spending our time and take that time and invest it in our future. Are we together?
Yes, Dr. Benjamin.
Yes, we are together.
Right. All right. So good. So principle number 2 is to what? Say it with me. Give up to go up.
To grow up.
Right. All right. Now let's look now at principle number 3, because we have clear that we need to give up some money to pay our subscription, very small. Some of us are investing money in going to the convention. Some of us, like Mr. Ade, investing money to pay for halls and travel to build his business. But that is an investment, not spending money. Now, third, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at principle number 3. We all need to pick a champion. We all need to pick a champion. Pick a champion. We need to find someone that's going to be our mentor. You know, the thing about life is that we either learn from mentors or we can learn from our own mistakes. You can learn from the mistakes of others, or you can learn from your own mistakes. So when you pick a champion, what does that mean? If you are, let's use the example of someone who is from Nigeria and someone who is from the US. So I'm in Nigeria living, right? And let's say Scola or Irene, you guys came over to Nigeria and you're looking for someone to show you around and tell you where, to go to in Nigeria to have a good time, or where to find something to eat, or to find somewhere to get a phone to buy so that you could function. Would it be a good idea to ask myself that's not from Nigeria to help you? Or would it be a better idea to ask someone who lives in Nigeria? Who would be better to ask that question?
Someone who lives in Nigeria.
I'll first ask Kevin.
Thank you, Scholar. You go to Kevin, you not ask me, right? Yeah, because you have to ask someone who's from there. Because it means that you would minimize the amount of mistakes you would make, because you're asking someone who lives in that country, someone who knows the land, someone who knows where things are. So you would minimize the mistakes. Because if I try to tell you where to find, a phone and good food, I just might help us to get lost. But because I've been here for years, I might know how to help. But you're still better off asking Kevin than asking myself. Now, what it means to pick a mentor is we always end up behind the person that we're following. And if someone has never earned $200,000 US in a single year in income, would it be good to ask that person to show you how to earn $200,000 a year in this particular business, and they have never earned it before?
Oh, no.
But bad idea. So a lot of people, what they do is that they take advice from broke people. They literally take advice from people who do not know what they're doing, and they end up struggling. All right. So what do we need to do as step 3? What do we need to do, ladies and gentlemen? Pick a coach. Each of us needs an accountability partner. We need a mentor. We need somebody who's going to guide us and show us exactly what we're supposed to do. And then we take it from there. Now, step 4. All right. Plan your work. Okay. And work your plan. Plan your work and work your plan. All right? Plan your work and work your plan. So how do we get to the $200,000? Because we begin with the end in mind. All right? We're going to begin with the end in mind. So what we need to do is that first, you're clear that you want to earn this $200,000. Let me use this page instead. That's cleaner. All right. So what's the goal? $200,000. All right. Now, if we divide it by 12, how much is that per month? Divide it by 12, how much is that per month? It's around $18,000, right?
Yeah.
All right. So $18,000 per month. If we're only building the business, without doing any trading, let's leave trading over to the side for a minute. It takes a while to learn how to trade well. But if we're only building the business, that means $20,000 a month. Am I correct? Just make sure that you guys are following me. If we earn $20,000 a month,
approximately $17,000.
About 17,000. Yes.
All right. So 17,000. So if the goal is to, if you're earning $20,000 a month in the program, in 10 months you'll achieve the goal, right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Sir.
Yes.
Correct.
All right.
Yes,
So to
you're
earn
correct.
$20,000 a month, what do you need to do in a current comp plan to earn $20,000 a month? What would you need to do? In a
What's
current
your
comp
plan?
plan, you need to have 1,000 active members. In your left leg, L for left leg, you need to have 200.
2,500 active members.
Right? Is it 500? No, it's 1,000, right? $20,000 a month is 1,000. So you need to have 400 in this leg, 400 in this leg, and 200 in this leg, right? Am I correct?
No, that for 1,000, yes.
All right, great. So that's
Well, it's more
400
than
plus
that, okay.
400, that's 1,000. All right, great. Now, let's say to be a silver member, how many members, to be a silver leader in the company, how many members do you need to have in your team? To be a silver member, how many members do you need to have in your team? 25.
25.
Right, 25.
Yes, sir.
So if we divide
Yes, sir.
400 by 25, how many persons are there?
You have 5 persons.
Okay, 425, right? That's gonna be actually 16, right?
Yeah.
400 divided by 25, that's 16, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
200 divided by 25 is how much?
4.
200 divided by 25 is actually 8, right?
8, yes.
8.
All right, so if we add this all together, these are your silvers, right? 16 in leg 1, 16 in leg 2, and 8 in leg 3. That's a total of how many silvers? 40.
40.
So what you should have now as a part of your wants, okay? And let's go back to the $200,000. Let's go back to it, all right? So what we need to have as our want, we have the want of $200,000, right? But what we should have, instead of the $200,000 only, you need to have that as one of your affirmations. But you also need to have an affirmation. And what will the affirmation say? I am so happy and grateful. When are you grateful?
Now.
That I have 40 silver. So let's say 40 active. 40 active, very precise. Silver members and above in my organization. Right? By, let's say, you could say it's September 2022. Are we together, my friends?
Yes.
All right. Are you seeing the relationship now between building up your team? Okay. First, you have to become a silver member. But once you become a silver member, producing a silver member is relatively easy because you can always lead somebody to where you have been to. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
first you find, let's go back to the principles again. I will come back to that chart, right? First, you have to know what you want. Those are personal. But then you also have to include in here a goal as to what your team wants, okay? And then that's where this comes in. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have 40 active silver members and above in my organization. And whoa, we have to put in here, let me add in here because it's so important to be specific The universe needs to know what you're talking about. God needs to know what you're talking about. In my Extreme Effects organization by 2022. Are we together, guys?
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
4 principles. What do you want? Very clear. Second principle, give up to what? Go up. We need to invest some money in our subscriptions. We need to invest some money doing some presentations and traveling and meeting people because you're looking for leaders. You need to also cut out spending time watching TV or playing football or, talk to your family and say, look, daddy's not going to be around as much anymore because daddy has to go out and travel to America and to Central America, South America, because daddy's working to become financially free and it's going to free you guys as well. Then pick a champion, a mentor. You have to have someone who has gone to where you're going to not have to make the mistakes yourself. So you learn from the mistakes of somebody that's been there before you. And then you plan your work and work your plan, which we're coming to. Now, once you have clear now, right, on what the goal is to what? Create 40? How many? 40 what? 40 what are you creating?
Silver.
Silver members.
Silver members. And if you create 40 silver members and you build
Active
and
members.
help them to sustain active teams, what happens to your income?
Grow.
Boom,
Growth.
200,000.
$200,000. And that's different from your trading income. So what we have to do is to focus on identifying people that we're going to help who really, really want. And here's what we need to do as a part of the work. Because the work, we know we have our presentation coming up. We invite people for that. That's important. That's very important. But here's the thing. In this process, when you find someone, you need to take them through step number one, not step, but the principle of finding out what do they want. A lot of people do not know what they want. If you notice that some people didn't answer at the beginning of the call when I asked, because they really haven't thought about it. Some people will live and just float through life and are not clear on what they want this year. They're hoping for the best, but they do not have clear, specific goals on what they want. The second thing is that once you have identified that you want something, what are you willing to give up to get that something? You have to give up some money, small money in our case, and also give up some time to invest the time and cut out spending our time. Because time, we get 24 hours a day, and you could spend it or you could invest it, and it's totally up to you, whatever combination of it you do. And then most people live life without a mentor. Please write this down. The man that has himself or a counselor has a fool for a counselor. There's a scripture that says there's wisdom in the multitude of.
Counselor.
Finish it for me, somebody. Finish this verse.
Counselors,
There's wisdom in the
counselors.
multitude of.
Counselors.
It did not say wisdom in the multitude of a counselor or wisdom in the multitude of you alone or you and your family members. Wisdom in the multitude of counselors. So most of us do not have mentors that are helping us to think beyond the limitations of our limited thinking. So that's why a mentor is so crucial. So it's very important to have them either in books, have them on audio, and in our case, we have great leaders in our community that you can select to say, you know what, I'm going to see if I can actually ask this person if they'll allow me to call them and ask them questions. And in this case, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have such a great team of us together here that you'll be able to get help to design your work, because you're going to have to put the work in to get to the $200,000. It's not going to just happen because we have affirmations written down. We're going to have to actually write that goal down, repeat it to ourselves, become so laser focused on it that you know, and you could cut this down. Is it going to be 20 leaders to be at, $100,000, which is $10,000 a month? Is it going to be at half of that? So, at 10 leaders to be at $5,000 a month, and it's a little less for that in our case. And you just keep putting the number where you want it. But first, you have to become a silver. And then once you become a silver, you can mentor and coach people how to become a silver as well. And then we'll put the work in. the work involves showing the plan, also inviting people. If your network is limited, you need to actually be getting on the phone, on social media, connecting with more people, meeting people, engaging with people. It's really important that we actually get involved with other people and building and expanding our network. If you really want to grow your business, we cannot expect to get there with our 100 or 200 people that we know. We're going to have to develop a level of influence where people really want to follow us. That's based on how many people you have helped already to get what they want. So ladies and gentlemen, that's our brief update and training for today. And at this point, I want to open up right now for questions. And if there's something that wasn't clear, let me change my screen around again so that we can look at these notes and see if there's something that individuals need to have more clarity on, so that we can have some clarity around these principles. Any questions from anyone? Anyone at all? Just jump right in with your questions.
I think the explanation is very clear. Very clear.
Thank you, Mr. Aki Ageme.
Hello, Doctor.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
The explanation is very clear. I think what you need now is action.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. What we need now is action.
I have a question, Dr. Harry.
Go ahead, Hugo.
I am wondering why you have not given us this tonic all along. This is very, very wonderful.
You know what? Yeah, Hugo, I started at one point, whatever, let's call it self-sabotage, because I should have been diving into this content from a while now, but for whatever reason, I didn't start. So let's just call it that. Maybe I was waiting on the new system. I don't know, but I'm not going to make any excuses for it. But here's the thing. Every Saturday, we're going to actually, because there's a lot that I need to share, but we can't throw it all out there at once. So gradually, you're going to get more and more of this, because there's some pieces to this, there's some detail to this that we're going to have to share with you guys, and it's going to create a lot of gel and substance to the growth and development of our organization. And yeah, so I thank you for asking that question, Mr. Hugo. And yes, the information to be able to build is something that I do on a personal level. But I guess over time, I've been reminded that, look, Harry, you have not been training. You haven't been doing the personal development for the members. And so I've gotten to the point of Mr. Aiden knows that we started a Road to Legend training, and we were running along, and then for whatever reason, various things allowed me to use them as excuses not to continue to do the training, and I fell off the wagon. But my clarity and my commitment, the founders have included me now into the corporate discussions. So I'm a part of the corporate discussions, very grateful for that. And, and there's some more things that are coming to be announced soon that we're all going to be excited about. So I'm just realizing that I needed to step up my game and play a more significant part in ensuring that we have concrete, solid members. So I'm going to transfer what I've gained from my mentorship and training in this industry from Mr. Boggs and Mr. Haynes, that works excellent, along with several other leaders that I learned from. You guys are going to get a lot. As I travel, I'm going back through my notes. I have 3 books of notes that I took over the years from these leaders that I'll go back through and pick out all the nuggets and come and deliver them to you all so that we can grow and we can prosper and we can really have a brilliant 2022. So each week I'll be sharing. Eventually you guys are going to start communicating this back to your team members. So you'll be taking down the training and then going back and then delivering it again to members in your own groups and your own physical trainings that you're doing. So that's my long answer to your question. But you're right, Mr. Hugo. Where's this tonic been all this time? So thank you very much for bringing that up.
Thank you very much. This is wonderful today.
You're welcome, sir. Any other question from anyone else?
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Harry Benjamin Paul. That was a very powerful training. We can't have enough of it. We are so grateful to God that we have you around us, and we pray that God gives us the grace to maximize you. That God keep you for us. I want to quickly ask a quick word on the affirmation. Now, yes, you're talking to the universe. You're very specific, but I noticed in your affirmation. Okay, I think you have corrected that. You didn't include the name of the company initially. I think you did that later. Then the dates. You just said, for example, September 2022. Is it necessary you have a specific date?
You can. September leaves it open for the month, but you can add in your, September 30th, September 1st. Those specifics are important, but I wouldn't say it's a negative to not have the specific day. And this is why. Let's say September ends and you only have 5, right? What should you do in that case? If September ends and your affirmation did not materialize, what should you do? So this is what you do, Kevin. Change this date to December 30th, right? Or you may change it to January 2023. Because what happens is that, which we'll get into in other trainings, there's the aspect of success that requires skills. S-K-I-L-L-S, skills. Right? Success is desire plus faith. Skills plus desire multiplied by your faith. You could write down that formula. Success, right, is desire, right, plus skills multiplied by faith. This on its own is a training that we could do. I won't bother to dive into that today, but you could write down the formula. So if you want to be successful, you need desire, you need to know what you want, have a burning desire for it. If you want to actually do network marketing well, you need the skills and faith. Now, faith is just a mustard seed. You do not need much of that. But skills, if you do not know how to make a 3-way call, you do not know how to prospect and invite people to a presentation, you do not know how to do a presentation itself so that you could actually take someone through the information, the skills are lacking. And also how to meet friends and influence people and bring out and include people into your network. These are skills that we're going to have to learn over time, which I'll also be training on. But I hope that helps you to answer that question, Mr. So the reason why you would extend the date, right? Why do you extend the date? Because when you set the goal and the date, it's not magic. What has to happen is that you have to have the skills to get it done by this date. But you really don't know where your skill level is until you begin the process. So when you get to the date and it's not accomplished, you change the date because you need more time to develop the skill. Because learning happens through repetition. And over time, we learn through doing something over and over again. Is that helpful, Mr. Obiora?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Harry, just to show that I agree with you clearly, the little one has put goals must be time bound. When we make it time bound, then we'll be able to work towards it as we are working and measuring, we'll be able to know whether we are going to achieve what we have set the goal to achieve, and what things we need to do to, if we're not hitting the goal, as the time is approaching, whether we need to adjust, make some adjustments here and there. So I agree with you, goals must be time bound.
Right, and these goals, ladies and gentlemen, you need to share them with who? Who do you need to share them with? Who do you need to share your goals with?
Those in my network.
No. Who do you need to share your goal with? Your goal. your goal as to the date you want to accomplish $200,000. Who do you need to share that with?
Your mentor.
Yes, so that your
Your
mentor can help
mentor.
you to hold yourself accountable. So this is your accountability partner that can check on you to say, okay, so Ugo, what's going on? I thought you said you wanted to be time-free and financial freedom. Hey, Mr. Ade, what's happening? I thought you said you wanted to earn $200,000. Right? Somebody, because your members, your team members, they're not going to hold you accountable. You know, they're friends, they're family, they're associates. They're not going to hold you accountable, right? It's your mentor that will check up on you to see what's going on. All right, thank you for your questions. Very powerful and valuable questions. Anyone else before we go ahead and close this off today?
Yeah. Hello. Hi, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to know how to join the Telegram trading group.
All right. Who is okay? We can send it. Could somebody send her that on the chat right now? The Trade Ideas Telegram.